Yeah, so let's get started. I will share my screen. Oh, I haven't done that in a time. It should be here. Yeah. So here you can see the website of BC Campus. They call it Cooking with H5P, and they hosted this webinar. And of course, they had a chef, and the chef was Svein-Tore, the boss of Ubel, the company that creates H5P. And if you scroll down, first thing what I noticed pretty cool, like the things they do after they hosted the webinar. So they will host the complete recording here as well, but they first they have to transcribe it. I think they wanted to have the subtitles, captions for people, so it's more accessible. So kudos to that. And I also noticed they, of course, some introduction, yada yada yada, and then they had a little poll. So they also put the results of the poll here, and of course there were links mentioned in the chat, and they took the time to filter out all these links and put them here, which is pretty cool, I think. And after that, yeah, that were also links that I added, and there was, of course, there were questions posted in the chat, and they put the questions here and the answers here. I think both from Svein-Tore and from the chat, so that's pretty nice work they do. Oh, the webpage. Oh yeah, sure. I can. Yeah, I just saw. I have to look over the chat. That is the webpage. I posted the link on the chat. Yeah, so I guess the recording will be here in a couple of days as well. But maybe there was a guy who attended that that session, that webinar, and maybe that guy recorded the whole thing. And of course, I won't show you the complete recording, but maybe the most interesting bits and pieces. So now I just hope we'll have to give. Maybe I'll go a little. Go there, because I'm not completely sure if you can hear the audio from the video. So I guess I'll start it. Maybe someone in the chat could say yes, we have audio, or no, we don't have audio. Because if yeah, I'll have to try something else if you don't. So I'll play it, and I hope you have audio. If you can hear that, please let me know.
This is the normal H5P with what we call the content type hub.
Ah, yes, great.
Hub of content types.
So now click on sub. That is great. I would have a fallback mechanism, but if it works that way, it's even better. So I'll just show you 2 minutes, and I guess it's not a big deal. But Alan Levine, if you're watching that, I know you have not published it yet. I hope you're not too mad. I know you'll license it under a Creative Commons license anyway, and I guess it's CC BY, so of course, now I have mentioned you, I guess it's fine, although you haven't even published it yet. And of course I won't show the whole thing. So now we have, like, I can turn it up a little, yeah. And yeah, it's just, I think it now roughly 2 minutes, which show you how the OER hub works, and actually that it works. So Svein-Tore demonstrated live, and he wasn't sure if everything would work, but everything worked perfectly. So let's have a look.
By us, built by others. Oliver, who is here, has built a lot of content types, and there's another one coming from him very soon. But the new thing here is get shared content. So we've added another tab, another mode of creating content, get shared content. And here you can search for content created by others and shared by others around the world. So the hub is built into the H5P authoring tool, and it will become available as a software update. So it's not a website, it's a part of the H5P authoring tool. And the way it works is that we list content, you can search for content, you can filter on disciplines, content types, licenses, language, level, and whether or not it has been reviewed. So by default, we'll only show reviewed content. Reviewed content doesn't mean that experts have reviewed it. It just means that someone has reviewed it and found it to be a serious contribution, so that you won't have to see test content or inappropriate content, for instance. And here you can search. So we can search through all parts of the content, titles, metadata, everything. And when you find results, you can click on them. You can read about it. You can see images of the content. There are data here to the right where you see metadata and including how big it is. In case you have a small disk or something, you might not want to download several gigabytes of content. You can learn about the licensing. And if this is the content you're looking for, you click Get Content. It gets downloaded from the hub.
So the hub is actually storing the H5P content, or is it referring to where it exists elsewhere?
It is storing in a central repository.
Okay, nice.
It was mighty slow. I tried this exact operations right before. Okay, I don't know why it's so slow. Maybe it's soon.
Yeah, so that were 2 minutes of the recording. I hope the audio was a little louder afterwards. If not, you'll get the recording from BC Campus, of course, in a couple of days. But I think it gave a pretty good impression of what the hub is going to be. And as you can see, this is Drupal, and Svein-Tore also mentioned that it's implemented in Drupal first because they want to put it on h5p.org, so people can, it's not really beta testing, but of course there may be hidden bugs and maybe people find them, so it will run there first. So that's Drupal 7. That's also used for h5p.org. And then it will be transferred, ported to Moodle and h5p.com first because they have the biggest user bases, and then to WordPress and Drupal 8. So that should work fine. By working in WordPress, it will also work in Pressbooks, for example, which BC Campus is using. So that is pretty neat. Audio was better, great. And of course there was at least 2 questions that I often get when I talk about the OER hub, and Svein-Tore answered them both. And the first one, which I also get quite often, can we have some local repositories? So we love this mechanism, reusing other people's contents. And but is there a way that we can have a local repository so it only searches that one? And I think that was the best, it's like a money quote from that webinar. Svein-Tore said that they don't have local plans for local repositories. And now quote, we're not trying to make the silos bigger, we are trying to get rid of them because he really likes the idea of open educational resources, and he doesn't think it makes much sense to create a repository here and a repository there that people use. Of course, they would love that because they could use it as an external source where they could share their contents among themselves. But at least that's not coming from Ubel. And the other question, you always get is when will it be released? And actually, Svein-Tore doesn't know. I know he knows. They are a little late, but he hopes that it will be released this year because otherwise he'll stop eating chocolate. So the answer to that question would be when it's done. It will be released when it's done. And there's no date given. They don't